Check, check, check. Take my music away this time. There we go. All right. So we are live. This is the It's Just a Phaze podcast. And I'm with a local rapper, producer, entrepreneur, event thrower. A lot of people will probably know him if you tune into me. We go back a long time. Not necessarily buddies, but we've been in we've been in the same circles and around the music for a long time. And so, my man Red Mcfly, thanks for joining me, man.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
what's going on?
Not much, man. So we just came back from, what was it, 2 weeks ago? You did your first listening session event to have local acts just come by and just play shit and hang out.
Yeah, it was a dope thing. I wanted to start something that, because I'm sure you probably understand, like, a lot of the music scene from the Lehigh Valley has been divided. A lot of people would do things, and then they include who they want to include and exclude who they want to exclude. But I'm like, you know what? I want to do something that's super unbiased and includes everybody that want to come down and be a part of it. We share each other's music. We talk to each other, follow each other on Instagram. Collaborate with each other in the future. Just something that a lot of people strayed away from doing in this area when it came to like networking. Like, people would say, "Oh, we should do a networking thing," but it's like something that they got to make money off of. Like, they got to throw a show, and then people got to pay to get in. But like, I made everything completely free. I even paid for the studio time and everything at the location. And shout out to Jamie for letting us use his space in Phillipsburg. I picked there because, the weed's legal in Jersey. So I want people to be able to come, smoke, check out the Mcfly, the strain that I got, and just vibe out. And it was a dope thing. And I'm gonna keep doing it like every month as much as possible, just to see that growth. Yeah. Maybe we might switch to different venues here and there in Jersey. Eventually, PA, maybe they'll be smart enough to legalize weed out here, so we could do them in Pennsylvania too.
Right. Yeah, I respect it. New York. It was a real cool event because, like I said, I think I put up a post like with like showcases and stuff like that. Dudes would usually just show up, perform, leave,
and dip off. Yeah.
And then if you're the headliner, quote unquote headliner of the showcase, there will be nobody left to hear your shit, because everybody that attends the events typically is just the artists that are performing and maybe a couple of their friends. So once they all perform, the headliners just left there alone.
Because everybody thinks they're a star. They think they show up, perform, and then leave.
Right. I'm guilty of it, so I can't.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've done it too over the years, but like, after somebody actually said it to me before, like, "Yo, you came and performed and left." So after somebody said it to me, I was like, I made it my business to like at least stay as long as I possibly could.
Right.
When I go places, what I mean. Sometimes people really got shit to do after you do that. You probably got to be somewhere, or you got a session, or got something else going on. But try to stay to at least keep making it look good.
Right.
I mean,
right, for sure.
There's always. You never know though. You might see somebody performing, and you might be like, "This person is dope," and y'all might actually start working together and do something big.
Yeah,
but you'll
absolutely.
never know if you don't get the chance to do that shit.
Hell yeah, and I know you've been doing it a long time too. Like, we came up, we're like, I think we're the same age. Like, so I think we both started doing music probably around the same time, like 8th, 9th grade.
Yeah.
It's like that's like 2001, 2000.
Yeah, like we seen a lot of the evolving of the music scene out here. Look, like my camera cut out. Hold on, put it back.
Yeah. You're good on my side here. I don't know what's
Oh,
going on.
okay, cool. On my side it's fro. But we seen like a lot of the evolving of the music scene from like I don't remember like much before, but I remember like when I first started, the first people I seen like actually doing something out here that felt like a real movement was like Guns for Hire
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and people like that. Then we started seeing a lot of other people coming after that. And I know I was in high school when I was doing a lot of the showcases and stuff, so people probably thought I was older at certain times. You know, going to places I was 21 over when you like 17 and shit like that.
Right. Yeah,
So
you always had somebody in your corner because I know back like in the high school days, you were tight with the dude Bear who had the studio on what 6th Street.
oh yeah, and I don't know whatever happened to that dude,
I
but
don't
like
know either.
he used to throw these talent shows, and I remember we used to go there and perform at. We won like two or three of me and my boy Nishu back in the day. We won like two or three of them shits, and then we would thought we was gonna get cash, and then he split it like it was half studio time and half pay.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, that was the catch.
I remember because you know many people might not know, but you got your name read because your first group was Dark Reflections. So it was you and your brother.
Yeah.
You were Red Rum and he was Murder.
Yeah,
So
and that shit was. I hope nobody ever find that album, but you know that shit. We was in high school, and his uncle was like putting the bread up for us. He was taking us doing a lot of shows to do James. Some people call him Uncle Meatball.
mm,
We wound up getting a radio station together. You know, when I was hustling, I had a dude that you know he came to me. He used to come see me, you know, on a daily basis, and he was like, "Yo, if you throw me something, I could build you a radio station."
mm.
So I'm like, "Oh, word." So I threw him something. He built the transmitter. We had a full illegal radio station going on in the studio.
Is that this?
And we was
Did I don't know if you kept it or somebody else, but I know somebody else might have had another one way later that I think like Frankie Needles had was on the radio with it.
oh yeah, that was in my
That was on that was
yeah.
on yours. Okay, that
Yeah, we
that
used
makes
to
sense.
be on Penn and Green Street,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Uncle Meatball, he kept it. I got locked up. I went away for like a year, and Uncle Meatball kept it going. Like he wasn't even on the air when I went to jail. It was me and Jay Sweets, and then he went on, and people just started loving his show. He was on there wilding every night.
Yeah, yeah, they were. Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they was going crazy. So people actually liked his show better than my show that I had on there. So they kept it going for a while. Then after I came home, somebody reported us. The FCC came, shut us down.
Yeah, that's
that
because
was
they were going crazy. They were like even not just like the conversations, but the music they were playing just wasn't never censored or anything.
Oh yeah, the curses, everything was. Yeah.
So it was like real wild. So of course, you know,
If we would have at least took the cursing out, we could have flew under the radar for a little bit longer. But we was wilding.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. That was wild times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how'd you initially first get started into making music in general?
That's the thing. I don't really know. Like me and my boys used to have a my boy, we call him Ian the Korean. He used to have a computer at his house. Every time his father used to work third shift, so we go to his house on the weekends and just go there and just record from like 12 o'clock at night till like 7 o'clock in the morning. And then that led up to me meeting Sugar Bear and all them.
Right.
And you know, like probably the same way how you started producing. Like I was rapping, and then like it was hard. It was hard to find beats in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I had to like we went on SoundClick and stuff like that.
Yeah, SoundClick.
But I just started making
SoundClick was big.
Jumped on I had my boy had brought me an MPC 2000 to the studio. I wound up making beats on that. I had the Triton, the Motif, all that stuff. And then M Easy showed me how to make beats on FL Studio.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doing the beats on the FL Studio on the laptop. I was like, damn, I could just take the computer with me home and just make beats at the house. I used to have to always go to the studio and do it. And then it just grown from there. Now I'm back on the MPC again with the FL Studio, but I got the new MPC, the one wet screen and all that.
Nice. Yeah, I need to upgrade my shit because it's been stuff has escalated so fast, and even the stuff that I got like 5 years ago is old now.
Oh yeah, it's always changing. Like it's like they even done came out with another MPC one, and everybody's mad about that. They just always, they could just always make money off this stuff.
Right. Yeah, I got started with the same stuff with like the first Fruity Loops ever. I got the crack version of that, and just started going to town. Eventually, like you said, we were downloading beats off SoundClick, just whatever you can find on Napster, instrumentals, and I think people were putting beats on mp3.com.
Oh yeah, I remember that site.
And
we used to be battling on that site. They used to let you upload your verse and battle people on that.
I was doing that too. We were doing text battles before we had, recording equipment on the internet and stuff like that. Yeah, those were fun times. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say now everybody could just go on YouTube, grab a beat, record.
Yeah,
it's so easy to do now.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like I do and I don't. Just because all the beats start to sound the same, everybody's sound is the same, and
yeah, that's a problem. Like before, it was like who was original would stand out.
Right.
Now it's like who could copy off Lil Uzi or Lil Wayne or whoever's out at the time the best while looking good at doing it. It's right. Stand out.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, I guess some producers have a sound like. I mean, I don't even count like Hit Boy as like a new producer because he's like our age too. He's more so an OG by now. But yeah. I don't know. Some producers have their own sound, but most of them don't. It's not like back when we were coming up where people had like a really distinct sound, like a Timberland beat sounds nothing like a Dre beat, or nothing like nothing like a Premier beat, and nothing like a Kanye beat. Like
they had that signature sound. You don't really see that no more.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the drums, and everybody uses the same drums now. And the same.
Yeah, that's true too. Before you had to go out and make your own sounds, or like you would tweak them, and so in a way where like nobody had that sound. That was like you could just go and download Young Thug drum kit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Metro Boomin drum kit, sound kit, or whatever, and you got all the sounds, the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And you just copy that.
I still got like all my drum kits from way back in the day. All the shits that I ever found. Like, people would try to make up like the packs and shit that they have now, but back then it was a little bit harder to get. So I still got all them from back in the day. And what I used to do to develop my own sound is to stack the drums in a specific way to make my own kick and snare out of those.
Yeah. Add a little distortion or reverb or something like that.
Yeah, and people
change the pitch. Is a completely different sound now.
Yeah, now everybody just uses the same drums, the same little rim hit.
We're in the copy and paste world now.
Yeah.
You just copy paste. Like,
that's all they do.
Get the loop, drag it out, and that's it.
they drag the loop out. It's already synced. It's in tempo. You could stretch it, and then you throw the MIDI pattern on top of it, and then just click click a drum.
And then you put it on YouTube, and you put Drake type beat or whoever that loop was.
Yeah.
You just put that person type beat, and then boom, somebody might see it and buy it, and then that's it. It's over.
No, it's too crazy for me right now. I don't like none of that. And then I get a little bit discouraged sometimes because you see all these other people doing that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Do I want to continue in this world?
Yeah, the thing, what I try to always do is I just be like, you know what? I'm gonna try to beat them at it and do it better than what they do, or overshadow what they doing.
Right.
Like if somebody they want to upload the French Montana type beat or whatever, all right, I'm gonna put it up too. But I'm gonna mine's gonna sound like some French Montana shit or Drake or whoever that they didn't put out yet. I'm gonna just use the. I'm gonna take their formula what they doing, but I'm gonna do it different. And now I'm gonna put my Drake type beat, but my shit ain't gonna have the same sound that everybody else shit got. So it's gonna sound different when people go and click on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's a hit or miss though.
Yeah, for sure. And me and you have this in common too, is that our main inspiration, at least growing up, or at least one of them, is Kanye West. And I know you've gone hard.
That's probably my biggest one out of everybody.
Right. And my favorite artists are tend to always be rapper / producers, because I think
same thing with me.
I think we put more thought into the projects because we're seeing it the whole way through, and you have that vision of what you want and how you want things to sound and how you want them to look.
Yeah, that's you know, people usually relate to people that you can relate to, like, you know, a lot of people they do like a lot of the trap rappers, like their inspiration was Lil Wayne or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
That rap on trap beats, or people that do drill, their inspiration might be Pop Smoke or somebody like that. But like that was the lane that we was in. So it always, like, even like I always argue with Vever all the time because he always thought Jay-Z was. We argue like he said Jay-Z better than Ye. I got my points and he got his points.
Right.
But like he might not relate to what I'm relating to with Ye. Like I'm like, yo, this motherfucker created all these albums and put this roster together of these great artists and produced it and wrote it and directed the video. Like, you don't see what I'm talking about? And they, you know, his thing is, but Hov is spitting that shit on the. So it's like they discredit all the other stuff.
Yeah, no, that for sure that happens with a lot of people, and I don't know.
A lot of people, they don't understand how much work goes behind doing all of that. They think it's just come together like that because it's easier than what it really is.
Right.
Like there's a certain mindset you got to have to be a producer rapper. Like a lot of producer rappers be thinking on the same the brain wave. Like we on the same frequency. Like I notice it when I speak to a lot of people that do beats and even if they just a producer. I think producers, like, you got to be on a certain frequency just to be able to sit there on that computer and hear all them different sounds and put them together and create something.
Absolutely.
I don't know. You ever think that?
Oh, yeah. It happens all the time. Whenever I'm in a room or just somewhere with just musicians in general, to me, it could be a drummer or a guitar player or something like that. Just somebody who actually does music. Like, we always just get along great.
Yeah. Like, that's who you have the conversation with. Like, I was just, we was at Heem's album release party in New York a couple weeks ago, and all these rappers came, and everybody's like, yo, you know who that rapper is, and that. But, like, I seen Damage there, so I'm like, I'm going to go sit and talk to him.
Oh, so yeah, I seen you with them.
Yeah, I was like, I met him already before, but, like, you know, I always believe you got to meet somebody, like, 3 times before they really remember you.
Right.
And they click in their head. So I went and spoke to him a little more, and like we had a good conversation because it's producer to producer. A lot of the rappers you can only have certain conversations with them.
Yeah, for sure. And I really like his production a lot with the Griselda stuff, even though I got into them way late because I don't know, I'm such like a stubborn person. When somebody keeps telling me to listen to somebody, it makes me not want to.
Oh, yeah.
So that was happening with me, and everybody was talking about Griselda, and especially when they were signed to Shady, I wasn't really impressed with what they were doing at that time. But then as it started to go, and I kept hearing more and more, then I was like, oh no, I'm getting it now.
Yeah, that happened to me kind of like when I first seen him, I didn't really listen to the music, but then when I actually sat down and listened, I'm like, damn, they got some shit.
Yeah.
Once I really sat and listened to the music, and I was like, okay, I get it, because you got to think like a lot of people were straying away from rapping.
Right.
Like everybody want to start doing shit that they think gonna sell.
Right.
And traditional boom bap beats and shit like that, it wasn't really seeming like it was gonna sell. But the thing is, everybody did so much of the same shit so much that
Right.
that sounds so different that people are like, oh no, we like that again.
Yeah.
Because they just got tired of the same. Like, how many drill beats you gonna rap on? How many trap beats? Like, sometimes people want to hear some shit with some substance. Every once in a while, you know what I mean? Like me, I listen to all kinds of, like, I listen to rappers that would never do songs with each other, and I listen to them a lot. Like, I listen to a rapper that's 18 years old that I ain't got much shit in common, but the vibe, I could, I hear the music, I hear the vibe, and then I listen to a 30-something-year-old rapper, and then anything in between. But, like, it was just that people were just getting so tired of that same shit.
Yeah, like, year after year, like, I think it kind of started with, man, I don't know, the Class. I think like the Class year after, like the ASAP Rockies and stuff like that. Once like Lil Yachty started to come in and all them, it was like it was like a copy of a copy of
like
a copy.
The end of the blogging rappers. Like
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the people on Two Dope Boys and shit like that.
Yeah, and each year that passed, there was less people actually rapping. Each year, less people actually rapping. Each year, less people actually rapping. And when the rappers that we grew up on, like Kanye and Jay, who are putting out great projects at the same time as all the new dudes are not putting that level of effort into their projects, it came to like a head to where it's like, where do we go? Because all these new generations aren't going to make this standard of records anymore. It's just the older generation who's going to do this.
Though, because I actually stopped making music from all right, so I was going hard and I was dropping shit, and then like there came a time where like it started going slower because I started thinking more like, damn, this ain't what they want to hear. I'm thinking from like a business perspective, like not as an artist. I'm thinking business, and I'm like, nobody's gonna want to. Like, I'm starting to see the new rappers that's coming out, and I'm like, damn, I don't know. So I start second guessing myself, and then time go on, and before you know it, it was like a couple years, and then I was like, you know what, man, it seemed like you got to be 21 years old to rap now.
Yeah.
So the crazy thing is, I seen Benny and them and Westside and Conway, who's older than me, and they pop and they start, coming out doing music. I'm like, damn. I called Ted like, yo, I want to produce for this this artist, Benny the Butcher. And he like, oh, I just met him. That's something that, Ted City, he be out all over the place.
Right.
And so he plugged me in, and I'm like I never even told him, like, he inspired me to come back to do this. Because I realized that it's not about like trying to follow the trends and stuff. Sometimes if you really stick to your own lane or what you're doing, that you can win in the end, because people it'll come back around. You know what I mean? Like right now, like before, like we said, it was like the blogging, like the blogs, they was posting like the weird artists, like they had like Kid Cudi and
right.
all them type of people it's like, it was fun. Then it started going into everybody's on drugs and shit. And auto-tune.
Yeah.
Colorful clothes, and colorful dreads. And then it's like it's swaying over to like the drill music. But then like they kept doing what they do the whole time. So the cycle came back around to like now hip hop is more acceptable now, like real hip hop is more acceptable now. People that's actually rapping and saying something on the beat. And then, now there's people that's trying to probably just follow along what they doing. That y'all wasn't fucking with this a couple years ago. Now y'all want to come back around to it.
Another thing that I think affects it too is because of our generation and maybe the one like right before us, we are the new consumer generation, whereas the younger kids never bought music in their life.
Yeah.
So our generation and the a little bit older generation supports still what they like monetarily. So there's going to be a market for it still because we're willing to pay for what we like to hear.
Yes, there's a new demographic that wasn't really around of hip hop fans because hip hop has only been around for what 50 years, right?
Yeah.
So before, a lot of the hip hop fans were younger people, but those younger people wound up growing older. So now there's a fan base for the 25 and older hip hop crowd. You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe even 30 and over, I would say. But like I think like the kind of music I make is more for like 25 and up. Like I don't really make music for people that's younger than that. Some of them might catch on to it, but it's like a new demographic now of people that wasn't necessarily considered a demographic before.
Yeah, for sure.
Like even people that's like in their 40s and 50s that's hip hop fans that was 30, 20 years ago. Now they like 50, but they still listen to hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
They still will go spend their money and go buy a ticket to an artist that they like to listen to.
Hell yeah.
But people weren't accounting for those type of demographics 20 years ago. Everything had to be like, 20 to 30-year-old demographic.
Yeah, if that. More like 20.
Yeah, maybe 18. Yeah.
More like 18 to 24.
Yeah, that was probably the strongest demographic. Because, like a lot of college kids and the way how they looked at it. I remember somebody that owned a venue told me he felt like it was smarter to market towards younger audiences because they have more disposable income.
Yeah, and I don't think they have that anymore.
It seems like they don't have because kids don't work no more.
No, they don't. They don't.
I know a lot of 18 to 20-year-old kids that don't work at all.
Nah.
I remember when I was 18, I was hustling. I had all kinds of shit going on that I wasn't supposed to be doing. But it's like 18, 20-year-olds now, they ain't got nothing.
They ain't even outside.
Mm-hmm. They in the house trolling people.
Yeah, like back
talking shit with a
back when we were doing things, it was like there was people just like standing on corners and getting shit off like all the time.
Oh yeah, I sold. This ain't no lie. Like I sold at least 10,000 CDs in the street. And then not me necessarily, but my team, like, initially would go out every fucking weekend, hit the clubs up, had the CDs, whether he sold it for $2 or $5 or $10, we was getting them all. And I don't know if you remember DJ Sinister.
Yeah.
He the one I was printing for. We would go every week or whatever, like, let me get another 300 CDs, let me get another 200 CDs, and just moving them.
Yeah.
But it's like, now you can't even do that. No, the CD world is gone.
No, it's
so,
gone.
You got to find new ways to get your music out there.
I don't even there's not even a CD player in my car.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't listen to them if I wanted to. Well, I can because we got another car, but with a CD player, older car. But you can't.
I remember we had a CD store on 7th Street. Me and Vera would be in there every day. And I remember the day when somebody came in and was like, man, my car don't even got a CD player in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. And that shit tanked right after that. Like, the CD world was done. We were selling mixtapes in there all day.
Yeah, there was a nice time period, probably then till kind of up until now, where people didn't know how to get people music because a lot of people weren't on like DistroKid or anything like that. So it was like, what do we do? Get thumb drives?
Yeah. And you know what's crazy? There's a lot of artists from when we were doing music like 10 years ago that don't have anything on streaming platforms now.
No.
Because everybody was focused on Dat Piff. And Dat Piff is gone. I mean, they said they're not completely gone, but if you go on the website, it ain't shit there no more.
Damn.
Like, that site is done. So it's like people can't even There's nowhere for you to even look a lot of people's music up at.
Yeah, everything has to be on the streaming platforms or YouTube.
Yeah.
That's
Some
it.
people don't even know how to upload their music on YouTube.
No. That's sad because like I have a lot of people's music too because I've been, recording people from around the town and shit since 2006. So I still got a lot of people's stuff, and one day I just want to go and like I've been a little bit here and there, but just like putting little rough mixes on it, make it sound a little bit up to date, and then just throw it on,
yeah.
and then throw it on YouTube.
Yeah, people probably really go back and check that out. Like you do a best of over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
That might be a good channel to have.
Yeah, I want to do that, like a Lehigh Valley lost sessions.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what you were saying before, like, there's been a lot of talent in the Lehigh Valley. It was a lot of not talent, but it was a lot of good talent in the Lehigh Valley over the years. Like, there's people that I actually, in my mind, I could vision them being, like, on TV and having fans and shit like that. And it's like people from the area, they don't really want to get behind anybody.
No, they
from this area in particular.
And the people that they did choose to like kind of get behind are the more people who are popular with within certain
but all
circles.
I just mean is they had a lot of family or people from the block or whatever. Like sometimes it looked like it's more than what it really is. But like one thing I learned, and I learned this formula from French and Max B. You got to leave and look big somewhere else. And then you come back and people will respect it. Like from this area, it seems like they want to see you somewhere else looking like something before they be like, oh, we fuck with him. Yeah.
Right.
They don't, it's like, and the other thing is nobody wants to be the person after like everybody wants to be the first person. Nobody want to be like, yo, this dude already got everything.
Let's help him. Let's help him. Yeah.
Yeah, he already there. Let's just give him the last push. He there already.
Right.
And let's just help out with that, and then let's be cool with him, because then he come back and put us on.
Right.
But people be stupid. They don't think like that. Like, oh, you got somebody that's already getting tryouts for the league, but instead you want to show up to the games and shit and support them, and you know what I mean. And when you get there anyway. It's like now you want to be like, oh, let me take a picture here. I want to be rocking. Like, nah, you wasn't there before all of this. You wasn't with me shooting in the gym then, so don't try to pull up now.
Right. Yeah, I think people start to get it a little bit more now, but back when we were coming up, nobody got it. Nobody wanted to do that at all.
Fuck. Nah, it's a little more now than it ever was. Like right now, I feel like I got the most support that I ever had. But I feel like it's only because they see certain things going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I feel like if I was just doing the same exact thing I'm doing, but I wasn't working with certain artists, like would the people even care? But I can't focus on that. I gotta be like, all right, what's another strategy to do? I gotta go to Connecticut. I gotta go to New York. I gotta go to Jersey. I gotta go to Rhode Island. I gotta go to Boston. And then go down to Virginia and D.C. and all them places where they're not supporting their local people. But when I pull up looking like something, they're going to rock with me in these places. Because it's not just here, it's everywhere. There's always the hate coming from inside. That's why most rappers that get killed, they get killed in their hometown.
Oh, for sure.
Because that's where the most hate is at. These are people that actually know you, that want you to succeed.
Hell yeah.
Like somebody from Oklahoma or whatever don't care about this rapper from Pennsylvania, you know what I mean?
Right.
So somebody from your hometown might be like, yo, he don't deserve that. Might come and pull up on you at the club or something like that.
Yeah, for sure.
You might hurt his pride, going back out on you, boom. Now his life is fucked up and yours is. All because of some hate and shit.
I feel like when you go to different cities and stuff and get connected within the right people, or not even the right people, just introducing yourself into their scene, they're way more accepting if you're dope to bring you in and introduce you to people and who does what.
There's no bias with it.
No, they're just like, I like this guy. Here, meet this guy, and then you're in. We done that so many times. Like when I did my stuff with like Shabam, and he took us out to where were we at? We were out in Brooklyn, and he took us to meet the Cellar Dwellers and Tech and Steel to do their video, and they're like, and then Smoke Dizza, and we were in Harry Fraud's studio out there. You fucked with Harry Fraud, I think, before.
I remember Rick Chain was telling me about that too.
Yeah, so, just by meeting that one person who liked what we do, he put us in the circle of all these other people who are already have their little feet in the game and everything. And it's been like that. Yeah. Wherever I went to a different city like that, if you're willing to work and you got some good stuff, people will just introduce you to more people.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like, when it's the local thing, people might be like, oh, I don't like his mans.
Right.
Because they know him personally.
Right.
And let's say you around somebody I don't like. I might not help you out because I don't like your mans that's with you. But if I don't know y'all, I got no ties and whatever, I'm just going strictly off how we vibe out when we meet and how your music sounds, which is the way how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's just that's just the way how it go.
Yeah, and also too, like you said, you feel like you got more support now, and I kind of feel that way too because I don't think there's necessarily more support for me, but the people who are closer to me are more in tune because like their kids are older, they got more free time. Now they're finally like paying attention to shit that I do. So back
could be it too.
Yeah, back in our 20s they were focused on getting their families together. They got to work their 2 jobs.
I thought about that too. Like like once I hit like my mid-20s, everybody started having kids and I'm like, dang, they can't show up to the shows as much no more.
Right.
And you know what I mean? Like it was people wasn't making bread like that. Once you hit like 30 or whatever, people start getting more stable in life and pay attention to more stuff. Like that do play a big part. Like everybody having kids and all that.
Yeah, everybody got their own shit going on.
I lost a lot of my crew that would go out with me to shows.
Yeah, ain't nobody coming along no more. I don't want to go to no shows.
Everybody's having kids.
I don't want to go to no shows never, so.
But the thing is, the reason why I don't mind it, because these is all potential. It's a ton of leads as a producer.
Oh yeah, for sure.
There's a ton of leads at these shows. These rappers that they probably paid to perform there. They probably got a little bread to pay for beats and all of that. I always told producers like, yo, if you was smart, and this is a free game right here for whoever watching. If you smart, you will go in places like World Star and look at who paid to get their videos up there and hit them up because they got bread because they paid $1,000 to get their video on this site. So they got some type of income to pay for shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So you should hit them up and be like, yo, I really like that video. You can copy and paste it. I really like that video you had on World Star. That thing was dope. If you're looking for beats, I got some records that you would like, blah, 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 and just go down the list and send it to all of them. I guarantee you, if somebody did that, they're going to make some money by the end of the day.
Hell yeah, I'm about to do that right now.
Any site where people paid to get on.
Right.
You like, I know they got money because they paid to be on this website.
For sure.
And it ain't cheap. It's $1,000 and up. I think it's like $1,500. I think World Star like $15. I remember when World Star was $50.
Yeah, their prices got crazy.
Yeah. I still got the old email. I hit them up. They're like $50 to get on the site.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
The World Star days.
Yeah, now it's like that's a bad investment to put your video on there. All you're gonna do is get seen by a bunch of people hating on you in the comments.
Probably. I think the last dude to pop from World Star might have been Post Malone. That I can remember.
But that video went viral. I think that video would have went viral regardless because this is a white dude that was dressed like a rapper, but he was singing, and it was super melodic, and the record fire. Like he blew up on, he blew up on SoundCloud first.
Yeah, with that weird silly thing where he's dressed all homoerotic.
Yeah, he was in the middle of the desert, right? I think in that video.
Well, yeah, in the what the hell was that song?
The White Iverson.
Yeah, the White Iverson. He had some silly one like before that, like super old, where he had like rain boots
like
on or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the advantage. A white rapper could get away with doing that. Yeah, a black rapper can't do that shit.
I mean, you could do it. You could still do it.
You get away with that shit. They think they ain't gonna say that.
Nah, there's tons of weird black rappers now, so that lane's open.
Oh no, it is. It's like it's like they going so far to say they transgender now.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You gotta do all of that to pop with your music. Yeah, that's wild as hell.
Yeah, no, leave me out of it. What's that other Saucy Santana or whatever?
That's the one that used to be Gucci Mane's artist.
I don't know. I just know that the name Saucy. That's a gay rapper.
It's one of them. He came out and said he was trans now.
I think that might have been them.
Because I guess his music wasn't popping, so he came with that route.
Yeah.
Just to get on all the blogs. Like I don't even know if he really is, but that's wild. You got to do that to sell the records.
You don't even get on the blogs no more. Like you have to actually die to get on the blogs now. That's the only time I see. That's the only time I see these sites.
It's like the Instagram pages.
Yeah, and the only time you ever hear about a new rapper anymore is this rapper got shot and killed, and you're like, when did you ever post his song?
Or busted in a gang indictment.
Yeah, it's like they never posted not one word about him beforehand until they die or go to jail.
Yeah, they did that with my boy, R.I.P. Kokakazi. They never was putting him like on Vlad and none of that. He got caught in the shootout, and he passed away and everything. And now like Vlad and everybody start putting the story up, and I was like kind of offended by that. Like, damn man, he was here grinding all these years. Y'all wouldn't post his music, and then when he get killed, y'all want to throw the story up now.
It's nuts.
Like that really is how it be.
It's nuts. So yeah, we're at 45 minutes. Let's get into what you got in the works right now, and what are your plans for the future?
Right now, I've been doing a lot of like producing and then being an artist. I did a bunch of production for BSF. That's Benny's label that he got, Black Soprano Family. I got some records coming up on the album that they got. We just dropped 2 singles. Take a Look with Benny, Uncle Murder, Fuego Bass, Rick Hyde, and Low Pro. And then they got the other joint with Benny, OT The Real, which is a dope artist from Pennsylvania. He's from Philly. And Fuego Bass. He's from Connecticut. Them records is doing pretty good. And then working on my next project on Life is Crazy Part 2. Working on something for Vera. Doing his project. Doc Mooley got an album coming out. Being a producer and an artist, sometimes it's like you got 2 jobs.
Yeah,
it's like you working second shift and third shift. You only get to sleep on first.
Yeah, for sure. No, I relate.
Yeah.
There was one. I don't know if you put this song out, but I heard it, or at least a clip of it. I don't know if Vera was on it or you and Vera. Was it called Another One? Was it called Another One? Something.
Oh, 2 of them things.
2 of them things. Yeah, you put that one out.
Yeah, we ain't dropped the video yet.
Okay.
But yeah, that was on the Life is Crazy album. I dropped that last October. It did good. That Leave Me Alone record, like, really. All right, so I stopped. Remember, I was saying I stopped, and I came back, and I jumped on a couple drill beats, and like a lot of people wasn't doing drill beats this same time last year. Well, a little bit further back, but last year I jumped on a couple of them, and I did the Leave Me Alone with the sample. Now there's 1,000, maybe 1 million drill rappers now.
Right.
Rapping on beats that sound like that.
Right.
But it was like kind of new at the time when I did it. and the Michael Jackson sample. You know, Michael Jackson got something in his music. I think shit hypnotize people's brains. So it's kind of like a cheat code that I did this record on this sample, and it carried me out throughout the whole year. Um, but that record was on that album. So anybody, if y'all ain't listened to the album, y'all should go check that out. Life is Crazy. It's really like all different kinds of music. Like I rapped on soul shit. I rapped on drill beats. I rapped on trap shit. I rapped on like just some hard hitting beats. Like it's called Life is Crazy because my life really is fucking crazy outside of this music. Like just on a daily basis. Like I had a crazy shit happen throughout my life, and I reflected that in the album. But yeah, we work on the second one. But I want to put that video out before I put that second album out.
Yeah, man. I don't remember. I remember listening to it last year, but I don't recall all the songs or what you specifically produced on there, or I don't remember if you put the credits out or anything.
Yeah, I didn't produce much on that album. What did I produce? On Life is Crazy? Shit, I think I might have only did like one beat on that album. I was just in my bag. Like M-Eazy helped me out with production.
Okay.
I had damn, I can't think of all the producers, but a lot of producers I met like on Instagram in the last couple of years. They sent me beats, and I put them out. I hope they don't see this and get mad. But people always forget the producer, right?
Yeah,
I should know better.
I have the problem too, where when you're making music for yourself, it's hard to rap on your own beats sometimes.
It is.
You don't get the instant feeling like when you hear a brand new beat from somebody else, you just go, I got an idea.
Yeah, and that's wild because like I'll go to the studio and play and people will be like, oh, and I'll be like, damn, when I was listening to this, I didn't really have nothing in my head, like, and other people sound so much good, like they sound good on it, and I'm like, but then I think I sound good when I go to M-Eazy or another producer, my boy Nova in Canada. He gave me a fire record too called Bands on that album, and like he didn't want to use it.'s a producer. They both are artists too and producers, and they didn't want to use the record. And when I hear it, I want to jump on it. So I think it's a thing with people that are producers and artists. It's like you don't hear it the same way as somebody else.
No, you don't. It's weird because you're there through the whole process. Like whatever it is, you're either playing your whole idea or you're finding a sample, and you hear every step of the process. So by the time you're done with it, you're tired of it.
Yeah, that could be it too. And the other thing I was thinking was that when you make beats, do you hear other rappers like on the beat?
Oh yeah.
Like you be like, yo, I can hear J. Cole on this beat, or you know what I mean? I can hear 21 Savage or whoever it is that you hear. So now your mind is stuck on that. Like, oh, I hear this type of rapper on the beat.
Right.
Whereas somebody else will hear and they just hearing the music already done.
Right, exactly.
I think that could be part of the issue. Like, I always, when I make something, it's a rapper in mind when I'm making the beat. Like, I'm like, oh, I want to send this to Vera. Or I want to send this to Benny or whoever. And then I'm just hearing that person's voice in my head while I'm making the beat. Yep. So now I can't even rap on it.
Hell yeah. So for the future, you're working on Life is Crazy 2.
Uh-huh.
And then anything after that or any other plans in the works?
We working on we trying to get into doing this comic book that me and Ted been planning out. We're trying to do that. I'm trying to do like my boy Phil, he's part of the management team. He's an actor, so he's into a lot of the TV shows and movies and stuff like that. So I'm trying to do stuff with, scoring stuff for movies. I got my boy Chaotic from Love and Hip Hop. Me and him went down to Atlanta. We did a bunch of records. So I'm trying to like expand down in that market down in Atlanta. We got fire records that we want to drop. Just expanding out. Like, You know, the region right now is the Northeast region, PA, Jersey, Connecticut, Boston, Rhode Island, Virginia, like I was saying earlier. But I want to start like expanding out more.
Yeah.
West, Midwest, doing more shows down south. Like I do shows here and there in the south, but I want to grow that and just be, I want to be. It's a thing like people gotta always say you gotta take it from local to global.
Yeah.
Some people think too local, they don't think global. Like fuck what these people around here thinking and saying. Like what about all them fans that's in Nebraska or that's in LA or that's in Texas or Florida that when you pull up, they gonna love you. You know, like when I was in Atlanta with Chaotic and we was in the studio, and these people that never met me a day in their life, and we doing the records and they going crazy in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, people up here, they wouldn't even do that.
No.
They want to sit there like this.
Yeah.
They was genuinely like fucking with these records, and I'm like, yeah, it's better to go to places where people don't know you and grow there
for sure
with an unbiased opinion.
Hell yeah, man. We're just about at an hour now, so that's basically around the time that I do here for the podcast. So unless you got anything else you want to talk about, let everybody know where they can find you, and thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, y'all hit me on Instagram at Mcfly. Stay tuned. We got a couple videos on the way. And the projects, I got an announcement I'm gonna be putting on my page, and probably the next couple days, a big announcement. So just keep staying tuned with that, and you know, maybe we get something put together for this next album.
Hell yeah!
Oh, we got the next Past the Aux event going down June 25th.
All right.
So lock that in too. It's gonna be even bigger than the last one. The last one was just off of 1 week of promotion, so the next one gonna be even bigger.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I vouch for it. It's a good event. Whoever decides to come, just bring positive energy and keep it going like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, thanks for coming and doing the podcast. I appreciate it.
Most definitely.
And we definitely gonna link up on something.
All right.
All right, bro. Thank you.